And this option is actually coming up because of the failure, the immorality of the PDP refusing to clearly zone their presidency to the south, as a lot of people have asked them to do. You see, this failure, coupled with the fact that there's an agitation in the south for power shift.
Yeah.
So Jonathan might be that middle ground. Yes, we'll shift power, but it has to be for 4 years. And don't forget that the PDP, the northern wing of the PDP and their southern supporters have made all the argument for Jonathan presidency. The ones that said the north has been shortchanged and that the south have had more years than the north. And since power cannot remain the north back to back, okay, to correct that anomaly and to balance it, we need to say, okay, Jonathan, come and complete your 4 years, your 4 years of one term, of second term, and final term, and then take over to the north for 8 years. So any argument you see today that is changing the publications within the APC have been made by the PDP because of their naked, simplistic strategy towards 2023. Somebody else picked from yesterday, Ahmed Lawan, from the northeast. Again, the PDP, the northern wing of the PDP, and the southern supporters have also made all of the arguments for Ahmed Lawan to emerge. When they claim that amongst all the geopolitical issues, even the north have not had presidency. And so APC is also bringing up
that argument.
That same, there is somebody from that same zone. You know, the PDP was making this argument about the north. They forgot that the APC can change gear and head towards the north. And if the APC picks a northern candidate, for example, if the APC picks an Ahmed Lawan, for example, I don't see any northern PDP candidate that can defeat Ahmed Lawan in the north. I've not seen any. And the south will feel jilted by the PDP and either not vote at all or vote in protest against the PDP for the APC. So head or tail, if the PDP does not zone to the south and zone early enough, it will go into oblivion. I said this on a sister station over the weekend. I don't understand why the PDP is refusing to read the simple writing. And the northern wing of PDP has derailed the PDP. And they're still derailing the PDP. Except what happens at their next meeting. And I don't know why the NWC of the PDP cannot rise to the occasion and do the needful. And the PDP is so fortunate, very fortunate. Yeah. The most popular aspirant in their party as we speak happens to come from the south, and the southeast particularly, which will have solved all of these problems, all of these agitations. That person is called Mr. P2B. You see, what Nigerians want to hear today, P2B says it. You see, we've come to the almost a tipping point where we want practical solutions to our problems. We want practical integrity. Mr. P2B has a reputation.
And you said that on Nigerian Pilot too, saying Nigeria collapsing under Buhari, talking to the issues.
On this platform, myself and my host have complained about the preponderance of national cake sharing and a near absence of effort to bake the national cake. The P2B says it in this way. I want to substitute sharing formula with production formula. We want to transit or transform from consumption to production.
He seems to have, all of the ideas because, I'm following his statements.
Even into the law.
He enjoys a very good.
Let me add this, please. P2B today is to the PDP what President Buhari was to APC in 2014. That is that sellable, popular candidate who a lot of people feel or perceive to be a man of integrity with solutions to the problem. And so what did the APC do in 2014 that PDP is refusing to do today? The strong men within APC, who had structure, the Tinubus, the Ametis, all of the other money bags came together, decided to say, look, for us to actually win this election, or even attempt to win, let's do it to the most popular person who has a vote bank. And we talk about northern vote a lot. Talk about the northern vote. We seem to underestimate the votes from the south, particularly the southeast. So the southeast, Nigeria's Igbo people, are one of the three big ethnic groups in Nigeria. That was a minority. And it is the Igbo vote that has sustained PDP since 2015 when it left power at the center. So you hear that PDP has 11 million votes plus in 2019 or 12 million votes. Overwhelming majority of that vote are Igbo votes. Igbos are synonymous to PDP the same way my house full of Igbos are synonymous to APC. And the PDP is about to take that vote for granted by denying the best option they have because of its ethnicity. That I don't know who is thinking. We have who is not thinking.
Yes.
I don't get it.
Dr. Mao, we have credible people, candidate aspirants who are looking good across the two major political parties, technocrats who Nigerians can look forward to say, okay, yes, this is the man that is fit for this job. This is the man who can take Nigeria to the next level. They are everywhere, particularly among those two parties, the PDP and the APC. They enjoy goodwill. They enjoy, followership across, the divides across, the country. But the question is, they do appeal to majority of Nigerians. Do they appeal to the delegates who will decide, during the primary elections of these two political parties?
That's a challenge. You see, I like the way Alhaji Mojid has laid out the issue, and the issue is simple. Between the PDP pre-2015, what made the PDP, the APC, to be able to remove a sitting president from office? It was about issues. You look at what is happening presently. What are we confronted with as a nation, as a country? What are the challenges? If I leave this station today, I'm going to queue for fuel. I'm not sure I'll get fuel to buy. You understand? ASU is on strike. Or they were on strike. They've extended that strike by another 3 months. Insecurity is ravaging the nation. The economy, nobody talks about the economy anymore. Nigeria is one country I know that you go out in the morning to buy a product, a good, and you come back
in the evening.
Not just change, increased by about 100%. These are serious national issues that I read an article by Kolawole over the weekend who said that anybody who is campaigning to take over the presidency of this country must have the heart of a lion, because the challenges are enormous, and you need somebody with that focus to be able to bring us out of the situation we find ourselves. And the situation we find ourselves is not just one that we can glide over, because there are serious challenges ahead. So one of the criteria, why some of us, and I told his line, why some of us feel that we need somebody who has the experience, who have done it before, to come back and do it. It's not just about talking about it. And whose words, whose campaign, when he speaks, he resonates with a lot of people. It's the same Peter Obi. When he talks, you understand, we really wish and hope that if he gets it, he'll be able to leave his talk. That's the only concern. And when you look at the two parties, currently the way they are, the PDP, take it or leave it, the PDP's sustaining strength has always been from the Southeast. The Southeast has, in the last, when we talk about 16 years of PDP in power, it drew a lot of strength from the southeastern part of the country. And if for any reason, and for the fact that, look, for the unity, let's even remove the Peter Obi factor, for the unity of this country, for the fact that a whole region of this country, have been considered evidence. Each time I talk about this, I don't want to, if you want the evidence, they are there, they're in the public domain, are marginalized, they feel marginalized, and there are evidence to show that they are being marginalized. I think we as a country should make that sacrifice of ceding the presidency of this country to the southeastern part of the country. It's a sacrifice we need to make for our unity, for equity, for justice.
I'd like to add something to this.
Okay, please go ahead.
Beyond sacrifice and concession, if we didn't have a credible candidate from the southeast on the PDP platform, for example, if you observe me, I limited my southeast option to the PDP, because I've not seen anybody on the APC platform from the southeast that is credible enough for Nigeria's president. If you ask me to pick a president from the platform of the PDP, of the APC, I'll pick an Osibanjo. And I've said this here severally. I'm saying today you have somebody on one of the big two parties running who has what it takes, who has the proven record and track record. If you deny him, that will now be the problem. It means his ethnicity has reduced him. And we're talking about him being a running mate somebody from the north, and I'm like, what you're trying to tell me is that despite his qualification, because he's Igbo, he should not be president. That's the proper definition of racism. So if he wasn't qualified, we wouldn't have any conversation. But the best amongst the PDP now, and the most sellable. And let me end on this topic with this other point. People look at the votes from the southeast. You see your 250,000 from Enugu. I would say that is all about the southeast. It's not true. You have more southeast votes outside of the southeast than in the southeast. So this is a man that is coming with, arguably, a 10 million vote bank to the table. That you need to work just a little bit more. It's telling now that the younger population, the younger people in the north, I think we need to key into his vision. All we need to do is run a sane campaign. And even if you lose because of certain other factors, you lose gracefully. But to field a wrong candidate and lose disgracefully.
But why do you think that PDP is finding it so hard to look inwards to actually do right by itself? Because the next election is about winning the election, not necessarily about, you know, which party emerges. And for them, for lots of Nigerians, you know, if PDP does not bring a credible candidate, like you were saying, it's dead on arrival. So do you think they are ready?
PDP is not ready, rightly so, to share money to any delegates. And if PDP delegates are waiting for people to share money for them, they do not have a moral justification to remain as an opposition party. They should fold up and lock up Barata Plaza. If at this point it is delegates money they are waiting for. Look, any candidate today that is spreading money around, I'm scared because how are you going to make back your investment? I am scared.
It's like an investment.
No, it's because P2B is a billionaire businessman. So when he bought his phone for 40 million naira, okay, it is within his charitable income, something he can play around it. Because I saw him giving 100 million to a school establishment in the state some time ago. So 40 million is something he can play with for the right cause. So he will not come and steal my money to replace 40 million. That's why we will have more trust in him. And he goes about with a contingent of about 2 or 3 people. And his message to you and your children is, I want to transform from sharing from consumption to production. That is key for all Nigerians. So if PDP is waiting, and if PDP chieftains are waiting for him to share money, Peter, we don't share money. Allow them. It's not, look, you have nothing to lose. Let me say this, since 1999, Nigerians have never voted for a clown as president, and we are not going to vote for a clown in 2023.
But we're talking about production and consumption. It's actually also mind-boggling for a lot of Nigerians that in a space where the first scarcity looms, food prices are escalating, there is going to be food scarcity. Dangote said that a few months back, that Nigeria and Africa should wait for food scarcity that they have never seen before, especially with the issue between the Russian and Ukraine crisis. And now you have an outrage from ASU extending their strike 3 months more, and there is a threat that there might be a protest by Nance to stop any political activity and occupy National Assembly. And yet we have this plethora of people buying funds per day, aspirations, you know, escalating. The divide between the people and their leaders, it seems that there's such a huge gap that even the political space cannot even mend it.
There's always a divide. Let me just come in here. And there's always a divide between the people and the political elite. It's what we spoke about last week when we were here, when we were looking at democracy in Nigeria, the role of the media, what we should be doing as media men to rectify the situation, as it were. However, much as we have spoken about the possibility of a Peter Obi emerging as the candidate of the PDP. You know, we always discuss these things on backstage, myself and Mojid. This is not a campaign. Let it be known. We are not campaigning for him. We are always analyzing the situation and looking at the strengths and weaknesses of each and every candidate, and of course the best chances for the political parties and the candidate, you know, that they can throw up that can actually be a winning candidate for them, and who will equally be, you know, one that will serve the interest of the nation. Be that as it may, I believe that, look, when you look at democracy in Nigeria, you know, before we came into the studio, we were looking at the political scene, and I remind him of what he always says about politics in Nigeria being politics of identity. Based on
patronage. The reward system is patronage
based on religion
and ethnicity.
And I told her it's not all about, to me it's not about religion and politics. It's all about self, the individual. Politics in Nigeria today, whether we like it or not, with the plethora of those angling to become the president of this country is all about self, the individual. It's not about the nation, it's not about the country. And I feel that as Nigerians and as the media, why don't we move the conversation not about this candidate, but about our country? Let's not be about individuals. Let's begin to talk about the country, the way forward, the issues that bothers you and me. If you are a parent, I'm a parent, I have my children in the university, I'm bothered that ASU is announcing another 3-month strike. How does that affect me as a parent? If I have a relation in the ill-fated Kaduna Abuja train, the relatives of the captives protested yesterday. Why are they protesting? They are protesting because the federal government is planning to reopen the route, whereas about 167 individuals are still in. These are issues
why we keep
that we as the media should focus on.
We can't also ignore politics, because we need politics.
It's politics. The idea is that we need to discuss this issue in order to align our politicians on the right path. Let's talk about this issue. Let what concerns us as individuals, let it be their concern. Let it be in the front burner. Let it be their agenda. Let them be able to tell us, even if they come to power, what they are going to do about these issues. Right, it's individuals and issues together.
Dr. Ostima, we just have to go.
You didn't talk about the media itself has its own fault. At times, we talk about the media. The media is supposed to be the watchdog of society, but when the media becomes a lapdog of politicians, giving awards to politicians who don't deserve it, announcing a governor of the year when the governor has nothing to offer or has nothing to show, the media itself has to do some retrospection on itself. We are losing ourselves. We are losing it. We are supposed to be the conscience of the nation, but we are losing our conscience as the media. And these are issues we need to equally focus on.
The Nigerian media has to, of course,